Hello everyone, I am Dr. Nisha Kumari, Assistant Professor of School of Business at Aditya University. Today we are going to discuss about wireframes and mockups, the part of prototyping. After this particular session, you will be able to understand the difference between wireframes and the mockups and what are the uses of wireframes and the mockups. As we discussed in a previous class regarding the low fidelity prototype and the high fidelity prototype, those were your broader types of the prototypes. While we talk about the wireframes, these comes under your two categories. It can be low as well as can be high based on the representation, you can say, or based on the creation of your idea. So while we talk about the wireframe, these are kind of your blueprint which captures the early stage of your idea or for the web page or for the app screen. And while we talk about this particular wireframes, it focuses on the essential details of your user journey questions, such as what kind of screen will help the target audience to accomplish the user flow or whatever the things they want to done, whatever kind of task they want to perform using that particular app. And what information do users need on each and every screen of your app or the software, and what is the best way to organize your entire web content or the page content for effective utilization through your users. So while we talk about the wireframes, it's provide you the visual representation again of your idea or your final output. While we talk about the wireframing, it's supposed you to explore the early stage of your design process, and it gives you much better consumer experience design teams to help them to create something innovative and creative. Using the wireframes, it gives the alignment between the stakeholders, because by using those kind of low fidelity prototypes, they are discussing with each other, and whatever the changes are required, they can do at the particular stage. As well, it helps in the speed product design, because wireframes are very easy to create and there is no polish is required for that thing. So we can easily create and we can mention the basic features we need for that particular thing and for the user interaction. Then it's a user-centered design. Wireframes we use to create, to develop the designs as per the requirements of the need, whatever the problems users were having. Based on those problems, we came up with the solutions. Now how that particular solution, how that particular app or how that particular software or how that particular product will look like, we are going to design using the help of wireframe, and it helps in the user testing to get the design in a direction, to provide it a direction. Then last one is it stop the potential problems. By creating the wireframes, what happens? It helps the design team to identify the problem or the error or the issue at the early stage rather than directly coming in the market. And because of that, it helps in avoiding the cost which is going to, they are going to occur because of their mistakes or the error in their final design. Now coming up to the mockups. So mockups is kind of your high fidelity prototypes. It comes under the high fidelity prototype category, where it provides the visual representation of your final product. But there is a difference between the broader high fidelity and the mockups. While we talk about the mockups just provide you the visual representation. But while we talk about the high fidelity prototypes, they provide you visual representation, as well as there are the category where they can operate, or you can say the functionable prototypes, where the users can use that particular prototype which we created. Okay, so while we talk about the mockups, it provides you the higher version of your final output, how it will look like in a proper manner. For example, you can talk about your Instagram page. You can see each and every functions on that particular page, but while you are clicking on that particular functions, you can't operate anything. It's just a visual representation. So why we use that mockups? To create the better visual design before development starts in that particular prototype. Before starting, or you can say before creating the functionable mode of that particular prototype, how that prototype will look like exactly, how that app will look like exactly. For that purpose we create the mockups, and it helps us to choose a best possible way to giving the look of your final product. And it helps in the getting the external feedback from the stakeholders. While we talk about the stakeholders, means your team members. So based on the representation, they can have the brainstorming, and based on that brainstorming they can do any kind of modifications or the changes which are required. And it is very easy and quick to iterate the entire process to do the modification into that, and it provides the visual design consistency to the team members who are creating that particular product. So here Wholesome, when we talk about the wireframes, it's just a structure and the flow where we are just providing the outline basics of your entire organization or the entire function of your product. While we talk about the mockups, it provides the visual resemblance of your idea in a much better way, or you can say as it is how your app is going to look like, but it is not operatable. We can't run the function on those particular prototypes. Here the wireframes, when we talk about, these are the low fidelity prototypes which simply provides the designer in a black and white, or you can say in a sketch format. While we talk about the mockups, these comes under your high fidelity prototypes, where we can see how your web or how your screen is going to really look alike. While we talk about the wireframes, usually we use these wireframes at the discovery phase, or you can say the idea phase. While we talk about the mockups, we use it at a design phase while we are developing our idea into our app, or you can say the product. That time we are going to create the mockups for just a visual representation before adding any kind of function into it. So here you can easily identify the difference between the wireframe, mockup or the final prototype. So when we talk about the wireframe or the low fidelity prototype, you can see it's just the sketch format where no function names are also written. They are just black and white boxes are there that you're going to make these kind of functions. You're going to put these functions in this way. While we talk about the mockups, it will give you the exact representation of your product. That remind button will be here, bell button will be there, addition button will be there, search button will be there, and this is the products which we are having, which we are going to introduce. So in the mockups, you are going to get the entire visual representation of your idea. However, when we talk about the prototype, or you can say the high fidelity prototype, which are functionable. So in that, what is happening, we can click on the functions, different buttons, and by clicking on that we can get all the pages details, what contents are there on that page, and we can operate those things. If you want to order something using this particular app, we can order it. So in Wholesome, when we talk about wireframes, these are very important to create the prototypes. These are the important tools to create the prototype. And while we talk about the wireframes, these are just your rough draft or the sketch model of your idea. Where we talk about the mockups, these are the high fidelity visual representation of your final output. And wireframes helps to identify the usability and the structural issues before development stage. While we talk about the mockups, it helps stakeholders and users to visualize and final the design, providing meaningful visual feedback. And both the tools are user centric, because in starting only we mentioned the entire design thinking process is user centric, and each and every work which has been done, it is in and around the need of the users. So while we are talking about, like in the starting, we understand the pain point of the users. So after understanding, we refine that particular problem. After refining, we came up with some kind of idea. After getting the idea, now we are creating the product or the app or the service we want to provide as the solution for this particular identified idea. So here what is happening, this entire work whichever we are doing under the prototype stage, by utilizing the different tools, we are going to create those kind of product or the prototypes which are going to solve the problem of the users. So the entire design also will be user centric, that the users will not face any kind of problem while they are using our product, even though the functions ultimately are going to solve the problem of the users. But when they are using that particular product, when they are using that particular app or service, it should not be complex for the users by keeping that thing in a mind, but it should be creative and innovative also in a visual manner. So we are going to create the mock-ups. Thank you.